Carol Daly says that she wishes this case had gone to trial and that Ryan Barden would spend the rest of his life in prison. Jared Daly would have been 38 years old. Instead, he was murdered in his Nashua apartment in August of 2021. During sentencing Thursday, the prosecutor described the vicious attack by Ryan Barden.
Continued to wait after Jared had entered the apartment until the opportune moment, and then attacked Jared from behind, bludgeoning him to death with a large metal pipe.
After the murder, Barden stole Daly's car. He was arrested a short time later by police. After making bail, Barden broke into the car at a tow yard and retrieved the murder weapon. Barden previously pled guilty to murder, and Thursday in court, he also admitted to falsifying physical evidence regarding that theft. Prior to sentencing, Daly's mother spoke to the court about her and her family's loss.
Jared was my heartbeat. He was my baby. And I am thankful that Jared's son was at my house that night. Or would Ryan have killed him? Ryan didn't give Jared a chance. He killed him like a coward from behind.
As far as the motive for the murder, the prosecution said Barden's former girlfriend, who was an old friend of Daly, was trying to get away from Barden and staying at Daly's apartment. Barden told the court about his history of substance abuse and how he thought he was helping the woman get away from Daly. Barden adding that he regrets his actions.
Today I take responsibility for harming an innocent family by taking a son, a father, husband, and a child of God. I regret the choices I made that led me on a collision course with a tragedy.
And Daly's mother told the court this case continues to take a toll on her and her family, noting that Jared's son, who is now 8 years old, is in counseling trying to deal with the loss of his father. Reporting live in Nashua, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.